All right, so let's jump into this list of VSTs you sent my way.
Okay.
21 Best Hip Hop VST Plugins 2024 by Millennial Mind Sync.
Cool.
Now, we both know VSTs are kind of the bread and butter
Yeah.
of modern music production, so we're not going to go into like what a VST is and all that.
Right.
We're really going to dive into some of the more unique
Yeah.
and powerful plugins on this list.
Cool.
So the article kicks off with KNOCK by Decap.
Oh, nice.
And I've heard good things about this one.
Yeah.
And, you know, Decap himself is like a platinum producer,
Yeah.
award-winning sound designer.
Yeah. He's a beast.
So it's always cool to kind of get a glimpse
Yeah.
into the minds of some of these
Sure.
top producers.
Absolutely.
So KNOCK is interesting because it's not just like another drum plugin.
Right.
It's really like a drum shaping plugin. And, you know, hip-hop is all about the drums.
Of course. Yeah.
So it's got this punch feature, saturation, essential ingredients for getting those hard-hitting drums.
You need that.
But the one that I'm most intrigued by is this SUB feature.
Interesting.
So it automatically generates a sub-frequency tone
Oh, wow.
that locks with your kick drum.
Okay.
So it's like instant 808 magic.
Yeah. So you don't have to like
Yeah.
synthesize it and try to match the key or anything like
Yeah,
that.
it just kind of like analyzes
Yeah.
the
Yep.
kick and says, okay, here's a sub
Yeah, I like that.
that's going to work with this.
Yep.
Okay, so then it also has this air feature.
Interesting.
Is that like some kind of high frequency boost?
It is, but it's kind of more smooth and more airy than like a typical EQ boost.
Okay.
You know, it's not going to add any harshness.
Oh, I got it.
It kind of just adds a little bit of polish
Okay, cool.
at the top end.
So moving on from drums, because we could talk about drums all day,
For sure.
but Spire by Reveal Sound.
Okay.
This one I always associate with like EDM
Right.
and not so much hip hop. So am I missing something here?
You're not alone in thinking that, but it's actually a lot more versatile than people think.
Yeah.
It's been around for a while, you know,
Yeah.
and the developers are dedicated.
Oh, okay.
So that in itself should speak volumes
Yeah, that's true.
as to its quality.
It stood the test of time.
Yeah, exactly.
But what makes Spire so well suited for hip hop?
It's got a really, really fantastic arpeggiator,
Okay.
you know, and that's one of the things that's really popular in hip hop, you know,
Yeah.
intricate patterns, those hypnotic patterns.
Yeah, absolutely.
The filters are super powerful, so
Yeah.
you can get really punchy basses and
Yeah.
like cutting leads.
Cool. So it's not just about the presets then.
No,
It's actually about having like,
the tools.
yeah, like the raw power to kind of create your own.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
That's what's important, you know?
Cool. So speaking of signature sounds, let's talk about Lo-Fi by Dope Sonics.
Yeah, this one's cool.
This one is interesting because it's like that warm, nostalgic
Yeah.
sound of like classic hip hop.
Yeah, that like dusty vinyl vibe.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's perfect for lo-fi,
Yeah.
but it's actually really deep. Like, it's
Right.
not just like a filter on a track, you know?
Right, right.
It's not just trying to emulate the sound.
Yeah.
It actually uses over 20 resampled instruments from classic gear,
Oh, wow.
like the Akai MPC60 MKII, Fostex M80 reel-to-reel.
So they actually like recorded.
Yeah, so they're
Perhaps
sampled
about-
through the gear.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a cool approach.
Yeah, so you're actually working with sounds that have that sound baked in.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, I think that's a really neat approach.
All right. So this next one needs no introduction.
All right.
Omnisphere 2.8 by Spectrasonics.
The big one.
This is like,
The one everyone has.
yeah, this is like synonymous with professional music production.
Absolutely.
And with 14,000 sounds, it's like a sonic universe.
It really is.
But what makes it stand out for hip hop producers in particular?
I mean, it excels at creating those huge cinematic sounds that can elevate a hip hop track.
Like those epic intros.
Yeah, like the big
Yeah.
sweeping transitions,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, the stuff that gives you chills.
Yes.
Exactly. So, I mean, and it's also got a powerful arpeggiator,
Yeah.
flexible modulation.
Yeah, it can do it all.
So it's not just about the presets.
No.
It's about having the tools to shape
Yes.
and manipulate.
Exactly.
Right,
And
right.
I mean, it's a premium price tag, but
Oh, yeah.
it's worth it.
Yeah, for a lot of producers.
You sure?
It's an investment that pays off.
Absolutely.
Okay, RC20 Retro Color by XLN Audio.
Okay.
This one seems to be all about adding that vintage warmth and character
Yeah, which everyone loves.
that we all love, but with so many vintage plugins out there,
Yeah, there's,
what makes this one different?
I mean, it captures the feel
Okay.
and the vibe
Okay.
of those classic recordings.
Right.
I mean, it's not just about like emulating gear.
Okay.
So it has 6 different effect modules.
I see that, yeah.
I think particularly interesting for hip-hop are the wobble and flutter modules.
Okay.
You know, they emulate those pitch inconsistencies that you would get
Right.
from analog tape machines, so
Yeah.
you can add that to your drums or samples.
So it's not just about making things sound old. It's about making them sound,
Human.
yeah, like alive.
Alive.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
So
like it's breathing a little bit.
next up, we have a plugin that's all about that final polish.
Okay.
Ozone 10 by Isotope.
The mastering suite.
Mastering suite, yeah. And this is the latest version of Isotope's flagship mastering suite.
It's got a lot of cool AI-powered features.
Yeah. And it's packed with tools to help you achieve a professional sound.
For sure.
Now, I'll be honest, mastering can be a bit intimidating.
Yeah, definitely.
Is this something that like a non-mastering expert could use?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
They have this master assistant feature.
And it analyzes your track and suggests a starting point.
Okay.
So it's like having a virtual mastering engineer.
Right.
It takes some of the guesswork out of it,
Okay.
but it doesn't just hand you a finished master.
Yeah.
It gives you like a jumping off point.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it's like a good starting point, but you still have control.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about another synth
Okay.
that's kind of earned its place in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Serum from Extra Records.
One of the greats.
This one seems to be a favorite
Yeah.
among producers,
Absolutely.
from electronic music to pop,
To hip hop.
hip hop, of course.
Yeah.
What makes it so universally loved?
I mean, it has amazing sound quality. The interface is super intuitive.
Okay.
And the modulation capabilities are just out of this world.
Okay.
It's also very CPU efficient, which is great for people with, you know.
Right. So if you've got a more
Yeah.
like modest setup.
A modest setup or just complex arrangements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've heard this described as a wavetable synth.
Yeah.
Now, for those of us who maybe don't
Yeah,
know,
what does that mean? What does that mean?
so basically a wavetable synth uses a table of waveforms
Okay.
as the source of its sound.
Yeah.
And Serum takes this concept to the next level
Right.
by allowing you to import your own wavetables
Okay.
or create your own.
So you're not limited to just like the preloaded.
No.
Okay, so you can actually design your own.
Yes, your own sonic building blocks.
What?
That's cool.
There's
Right.
where its real power is.
And it also has these cool visualizers
Yes.
for the oscillators.
Yes, it's so helpful.
Okay, so are those just eye candy?
No, they're super helpful.
Okay.
You can see the waveforms and how the filters are shaping them.
Okay, so it's not just about like hearing it?
You can actually see it.
You can see it. Okay.
It makes sound design way more intuitive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Especially for beginners.
Yeah.
It takes the mystery out of it a bit.
Okay, so let's wrap up this first part
Okay.
with Diversion by DS Audio.
Right.
This is another synth that prides itself on versatility.
It really does, yeah.
But it seems to be a bit more under the radar
Yeah.
than
yeah.
maybe Serum.
Yeah.
What makes Diversion unique?
I mean, this is like a beast of a synth.
Oh,
It's got 4 oscillators, a powerful wavetable editor,
okay.
you know, flexible modulation.
It
You
was
can
my
create
pick.
some crazy sounds with this thing.
Okay, so maybe not for beginners then.
I mean, it's a little bit of a learning curve.
Okay.
It's steeper than Serum, but
Okay.
I mean, it's worth it.
Okay.
It can make sounds that are just impossible with other synths.
All right, so we'll have to dive into Diversion a bit more
Yeah.
in the next part. But
Looking forward to it.
yeah, for now, let's take a break and come back.
Sounds good.
Refreshed and ready to explore the rest of this incredible list.
Awesome. All right, welcome back to our sonic exploration.
Oh, yeah.
We've already uncovered some pretty interesting plugins.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a lot more to go, though.
I know, I'm excited for this.
Yeah, so last we left off, we were talking about synths.
Synths, yeah, the workhorses.
Yeah, but, you know, hip-hop is more than just, like, catchy melodies. It's
Right.
about rhythm, groove,
Mhm.
that energy that just makes you want to move.
Absolutely.
So how do we achieve that?
I think a plugin like Movement by Output is a good place to start.
Okay, movement by
Yeah.
output.
Yeah, this one's not your typical
Oh, go
like
on.
effects plugin. It's more like a
Wait,
rhythmic playground.
Okay, so what exactly does movement do?
Imagine like injecting intricate,
Great.
evolving rhythms into any sound you can imagine.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Okay, so we're not just talking about, like, a simple delay
No.
or a basic LFO.
This is more powerful than that.
Okay, so break it down for me.
It uses sidechain modulation,
Okay.
LFOs,
Okay.
and a step sequencer.
So, I mean, we're talking about modulating things like filters,
Yes.
panning.
Panning of
Wow,
even the effects.
Okay, so the possibilities are pretty much endless here.
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
And the best part is you can do all of this, like, in real time.
Yeah, as you're creating,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
You can really get hands-on.
So this is pretty powerful stuff. I imagine is probably pretty complex to use.
You'd think so, but it's surprisingly intuitive.
Okay.
Outputs interfaces are always
Yeah, they're usually pretty good.
really easy to use.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have over 300 presets.
Oh, nice.
So you can kind of hear the potential right off the bat.
Yeah, sometimes you need that little...
You need a little jump start.
Yeah, jump start to get those creative juices flowing.
For sure.
Okay, so speaking of getting things moving, let's talk about bass.
Bass. Yeah.
Bassmaster by Loopmasters Plugins.
This one is a must-have for hip-hop producers.
So what makes this one stand out?
I mean, it's got exceptional sound quality.
Okay.
They sampled over 217 waveforms from classic synths
Oh, wow.
and modern synths.
Okay, so it's like a hybrid.
Yeah, so it's like a really diverse palette.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can combine these waveforms in almost 50,000 different ways.
50,000 different ways.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's crazy. So you can really create unique bass sounds.
Okay, so we're not just talking about like recreating classic sounds. We're
Yeah.
talking about like pushing boundaries here.
Yeah, pushing the boundaries.
That's cool. And what about effects?
Oh, yeah, it's got a great effects section.
Oh,
Distortion, chorus, reverb.
Okay.
You can really shape your sound.
cool. So you can go from like clean and punchy to
Yeah, you can make it really dirty.
warm, saturated.
Yeah, saturated
Yeah.
or like really aggressive.
Yeah, okay, very cool.
And it has over 350 mix-ready presets.
Nice. Yeah.
That's always a good thing.
Always a bonus. Yeah.
Especially for bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just want something that sounds good.
Yeah, just drag and drop.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of instant gratification,
Instant gratification, yes.
let's talk about a plugin that's synonymous with a particular sound.
All right.
Nepheton by D16 Group.
The 808.
The 808. Yeah, this is like
The heart of hip-hop.
the heartbeat of hip-hop.
Yeah.
And this is all about capturing that 808 magic.
Yes, it's a meticulous recreation
I love
of
it.
the Roland TR 808.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's really detailed.
So the 808 is kind of like the backbone of so much hip-hop music.
From boom bap to trap.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an essential ingredient.
It really is.
So, I mean, what's great about Nepheton is that it's not just like giving you the classic sounds.
No, you can tweak it.
You can tweak it.
You can change the tuning, the decay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very flexible.
So you can really customize it
Yeah, make it your own.
and make it your own. Okay, cool.
And it has a built-in sequencer.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
which is really easy to use.
So you can program your own beats.
Yeah, so you can get really creative with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to a plugin that's all about making beats fun and intuitive.
Right.
Do P2 by Ujam.
Oh, yeah. This is a fun one.
Love the name.
The name's great.
It just sounds like it's going to bring some energy.
Yeah, it's got a lot of energy,
So Do P2 is a game changer for beat makers.
especially for beginners.
Okay.
It's packed with high-quality drum sounds
Okay.
and pre-programmed rhythmic phrases.
So instead of like painstakingly programming,
Yeah, you can just drag and drop.
I can just like drag and drop these phrases.
Yeah, it's so easy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and they cover a wide range of styles.
So I could essentially create a whole drum track just by
Yeah, by mixing and matching.
mixing and matching. Okay.
Yeah, and you can tweak them,
Okay.
adjust the tempo, change the swing.
Okay, that's cool.
You can add your own drum hits.
So it's like a good starting point, but then you can customize it.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a good foundation.
Cool. And what about effects?
Oh, yeah, it's got built-in effects.
Okay.
EQ, compression, reverb. Okay. And it even has the special vinyl drive effect.
Oh, cool.
Adds that, like,
Warmth.
yeah, that warmth and grit,
Okay, so we're taking a good beat and
making it sound great.
making it sound amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a really fun plugin to use.
So before we move on to the last plugin on the list,
Okay.
I want to circle back to mastering.
Mastering, yeah.
We talked about it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's crucial, but it can be intimidating.
Yeah, can be.
So thankfully, there are plugins like FabFilter Pro MB to help us out.
Pro MB is awesome.
Okay.
It's like a Swiss Army knife
Okay.
for dynamics processing.
Okay, so what exactly is multiband processing?
Imagine dividing the frequency spectrum
Okay.
into multiple bands
Okay.
and applying compression or expansion to each band individually.
So instead of just applying compression to the whole signal,
Yeah.
I can target specific frequencies.
Exactly.
Okay, and that's going to give me more control.
Way more control.
Okay.
It's like, so I could use it to Like tame a boomy bass.
Yes.
Or bring out the clarity in a vocal.
Or you can create space and depth.
Wow, that's super powerful.
It's really powerful.
But I imagine it's pretty complex to use.
You'd think so, but FabFilter's interfaces.
Yeah, they're usually pretty...
They're super intuitive.
User-friendly.
Yeah, and Pro MB has this visual display.
Okay.
So you can see what's happening to your audio.
Oh, okay, so I can actually visualize.
Yes, you can see it.
What's happening in real time.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So you know what you're doing.
What about latency?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, because I've heard that could be an issue.
With some multi-band processors, yeah.
Yeah.
But FabFilter, they use a special dynamic phase processing mode that eliminates latency and pre-ringing.
Oh, okay, so I could even use it
while you're tracking.
While I'm tracking, okay.
Yeah, it's super transparent.
That's awesome.
So easy to use.
Okay.
It lets you focus on the creative side.
Yeah.
Without getting bogged down in technical details.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I think that wraps up this batch of plugins.
Yeah, that was another great batch.
We've got one more to go.
I'm excited for the final part of our journey.
Me too.
Okay, so we're back and ready for the final stretch here.
Yeah, the home stretch.
Of our 21 best Hip Hop VST plugins for 2024.
I know, it's gone by so fast.
It really have. It feels like we just started.
I know.
But we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
We've talked about everything from like shaping drums to sculpting bass lines to mastering, the whole shebang.
The whole thing, yeah.
And it's amazing to me just how many tools are out there.
It's like a sonic
buffet. It really is. It's overwhelming, but in a good way.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, but I mean, I imagine it can be a bit overwhelming for someone who's just starting out.
Especially if you're just getting started.
Yeah, where do you even begin?
I think the key is to not get caught up in like trying to collect every plugin.
Right.
It's more about finding the tools that speak to you.
Right, the ones that inspire you.
Yeah, and that's going to be different for everyone.
Yeah.
Some people might gravitate towards like the analog emulation.
Right.
Other people like the more experimental stuff.
Yeah, it's like building your own sonic toolkit.
Exactly.
You don't need every tool, just the ones that...
Yeah, the ones that fit your workflow.
Yeah, that work for you.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's all about the music, right?
The music's the most important thing.
Yeah, the tools are just...
Yeah, they're just there to help you.
Yeah, to facilitate the creative process.
Exactly.
Okay, so speaking of music.
Yes.
There's one last plugin.
Okay, let's do it.
That we need to discuss.
Right.
Sector by Initial Audio.
Huh. This one's a cool one.
It's a bit of a newcomer to the scene.
Yeah, it's fairly new.
But it's gaining popularity pretty quickly.
It's really popular with hip-hop producers.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a waveable synth, kind of like Serum.
Yeah, it's in that same vein.
Yeah.
But a little more affordable.
Okay, so a bit more budget-friendly.
Yeah, more budget-friendly.
But I'm guessing it still packs a punch.
Oh, yeah. It's super powerful.
Okay.
It's got a massive library of waveforms and presets,
Yeah.
flexible modulation, and it even has a built-in effects section.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you don't have to go outside of the plugin.
That's always a nice touch.
Yeah, it just streamlines your workflow.
What kind of sounds is it particularly good at?
It's pretty versatile, but I think it excels at those, like,
okay,
modern cutting-edge sounds.
Okay.
You know?
Like the stuff that's popular in, like, trap.
Yeah, trap, future bass,
Okay.
a lot of experimental, glitchy sounds.
Oh, cool.
You know?
Yeah, that's the stuff I love.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I love experimenting with new sounds.
Yeah, it's always fun to expand your palette.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I've enjoyed most about this whole deep dive.
Me too.
It's just discovering new plugins.
Discovering new possibilities.
Yeah, new possibilities and getting inspired.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of ideas from this.
Yeah, to try new things.
No, sure.
And it's like a reminder that there's always something new to learn.
Always something new.
New tools to explore.
Great sounds to create.
That's what keeps music production exciting.
That's what keeps it fresh, keeps it fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I think this deep dive has given me a whole new appreciation for the power of VSTs.
Yeah, me too.
It really is like having
a universe of sound.
Yeah, a universe of sound at your fingertips.
It really is.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So to all you sonic explorers out there,
keep exploring.
Keep pushing the boundaries. Keep making amazing music.
Yeah.
And most importantly, have fun.
Have fun doing it. That's the most important thing.
Until next time.
Happy producing.
Yeah.